Hello, this is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. Ooh, it is freezing up here in Michigan. It's 13 degrees. It is 13 degrees up here in Michigan and it's freezing. But, I'd be so glad when springtime April can't get here fast enough. I'd be so glad when springtime hit, because we get 4 or 5 months of wintertime here up in Michigan. We have long winters up here. So I'd be so happy. Any of you guys live up north, I know you can relate. Snow-wise, it hasn't been too bad, but we haven't got the big one yet. So, at least not according to my definition. This little bit of snow we getting ain't nothing really, In my mind, it's not the big one, so. But it's just freezing. It's just cold. Anywho, I want to talk about woke black content creators here on YouTube. I like to think that I'm a woke black content creator. I keep it 100. I don't sugarcoat anything. I keep it 100 on my channel. Anybody that, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, I keep it 100. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. And when it comes to race, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything when it comes to race either. I don't sugarcoat anything when it comes to any topic. And I address my people a lot. But I also address, from time to time, I address white people. Well, not necessarily addressing them specifically, but I speak on racism and all that kind of stuff here and there from time to time. I'm going to keep it 100 on here. It's never a problem when you're addressing the people in your race and you're talking about the issues that's going on in your own race. It's never a problem. But when you go to talking about like for example, the video topic that I did about white men, some white men, I didn't say all, some white men, when they're in relationships with black women, some of them are racist. Vice versa. Some white women, when they're in relationships with black men, they're racist. I didn't say all. I said some. And, because I had heard some sisters talking about it on TikTok, so I did a video. Because I'm team black women on here, and so anything that's affecting black women, that's going to affect black women, that's affecting black women, then yes, I'm definitely going to talk about it. And so there are cases where, these white men will get with black women and their racist as all get out. And black women have to use discernment, but that's not what this video is about. But I'm talking about when I did that video, it was white men that came for me in the comment section. I got a lot of hits on that thing. It was a lot of white men that came for me in that comment section. Yeah, because they didn't like what I was saying. And I told them, I said, I didn't say all white men. I said some white men. If it don't apply, let it fly. Okay? These are things that we need to discuss. And there was some white men that came for me. They were salty. They didn't like what I had to say. See, they don't have a problem when I'm talking about the brothers. They ain't got a problem when I'm talking about the brothers. But then when I flip the script and you start talking about them and their issues, they got a major problem with it. But with that being said, and so I'm as a content creator, I try to be very strategic because I know who owns YouTube. I know who owns Google, and I know that Google is ran by white people. And I do think that they try to censor black people on here. They try to be slick about it, and they try to do it in a down low kind of way. But I do believe that they try to censor black people on here. I do believe that they're trying to censor black people on here, and they monitor our content. I believe that our content is monitored more. I just believe that. I think that YouTube has a bias for black content creators. I really do believe that. And other content creators have said the same thing. I'm not the only black content creator that has said that. Other black content creators have said the same thing, that YouTube has a bias. They have a bias against black content creators on here. Okay? So, because when you're talking about black folks, unless you're getting extreme, unless they feel like you're getting extreme to the extreme, and then it takes forever to shut somebody down. But for the most part, they don't have a problem with black folks talking about black folk. Black folks bashing black folks. They never have no problem with it for the most part. For the most part, they don't have a problem with it. But then when you start addressing white folk, they got a problem with it. They got issue with it. Because YouTube and Google is ran by white people. And so as a black content creator, like I said, I keep it 100, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. As a black content creator, I know and I realize that I have to be very strategic. Because YouTube, I do believe that YouTube monitors black content creators' content more. I believe that they have a bias. And because I'm aware of that, I'm very strategic. I try to be very strategic when I do those topics. When I discuss racism or like that, or different topics like that, just keeping it real about white folks in general, I try to be very strategic when I talk about those things. And when I do those topics, I try to be very strategic. Like some black content creators will put white people in their titles. I won't do that. I won't do that. The video I did the other day about Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance, and I was talking about how white folks were salty. You notice I didn't put white people in the title. I thought about it, but I said, no, I better not. You know, because YouTube will shadow ban you. They will shadow ban you. They will not put your video in rotation. Yeah, they'll do all kind of stuff to keep your stuff from getting noticed. Yeah, and so I'm strategic in that sense where I will not put white people in the title of my videos. I just won't do it. So I'm very strategic in that way. And I'm very strategic as to how often I speak on, because I talk about a variety of different topics on my channel. I talk about a variety. I do some current events, and I talk about a variety of different topics. If you watch me on a regular basis, you know that I talk about a variety of different things on my channel. I just don't talk about one thing specifically. I don't harp on just one. That's why them black men that was accusing me of bashing and all that kind of stuff is just ridiculous. Because I don't come on here and talk about black men day in and day out. But if something, I talk about the issues of the black community. And some of those issues in the black community are concerning black men. Like I said, as I said earlier in the video, I keep it 100 and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. And so yes, I'm gonna keep it real. And whatever the issues we got going on in our community, you know, I'm gonna keep it 100. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, because we're losing too many people. We're losing too many people. It done got too real out here in the black community, and we're losing too many people. And our people are so divided. So no, I'm not gonna mince words, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm just gonna come out here and tell it like it is. And so some black men, they get salty, pretending on depending on what topic it is, they'll get salty. They get real salty. And I don't know why, because I'm just keeping it 100. Okay? If it don't apply, let it fly. And I do the same thing with racism. Racism, topics concerning white folk, because they got their issues too, and racism. But because I know who owns YouTube and who runs it, I'm very strategic on how I do those topics. And that's what I think, as black content, black woke. I like to think that I'm woke. Black woke content creators, we got to talk about it. We can't sugarcoat it. We got to talk about it. We got to put it out there, whether they like it or not. We got to tell it like it is. Because one thing about white folks, they don't never want to hear us talk about racism. They don't never want to hear us talking about it. They want to deflect. They want to flip the script and call you a racist. They like to deflect. They want to do everything they can. White fragility. White fragility. I'm gonna do a book review. I got that book. I'm gonna do a book review on that. White fragility. They'll deflect. They'll call you a racist. They'll do everything they can to stop you from talking about it, because they want to just keep holding their head in the sand and pretending that racism doesn't exist, because it doesn't affect them. Just like this DEI stuff, white folks, particularly white women, because it benefits them more, they thought it was not going to affect them. They didn't think Trump was going, whatever he was doing up there to nip that in the bud, they didn't think it was going to affect them. They thought it was just going to affect us black people. But if you fall under any of them categories, disabled, LG, I can't say all those alphabets, white female, disabled, you fall under any of those categories, okay, that DEI is under, then yes, it will affect you. It will affect you. And white women benefit from it more. I don't know why they didn't know that, because they don't do their research. But it will affect them more, because they were benefiting from it more. See? And so that's what I'm saying. They don't want to hear you talking about racism, because it doesn't directly affect them. They don't have to deal with it. See? They don't have to deal with it. So they don't have to deal with it. So they don't want to hear you talk about it, because they don't care. They don't care unless it's a white person that is really close to you and really loves you and care about you. Then yeah, they'll you know, that's a woke white person. That's a different type of white person. That's a woke white person. But your average white person out here, they ain't trying to hear it. Your average white person out here is not trying to hear all that. I've tried to educate white people in the workplace. That's fun. No, it really isn't, but I'm just saying. I'm just being facetious. Yeah, I attempted to try to educate white people in the workplace about racism. It's like beating your head up against a brick wall. It's like trying to educate white people about racism is like beating your head up against a brick wall. Literally. Because they don't want to hear it. They either deflect or they turn around and call you a racist for talking about it. I've been accused of being a racist simply because I was talking about racism. The lady I used to work with, I was just educating because I like I said, I don't sugarcoat, and just try to educate them on different things. And she said, June, everything is not always about race. I said, not everything is about race, but almost everything is about race. I said, no, not everything is about race, but almost everything is about race. Not everything is about race, but it's almost everything is about race. And so that's what I'm saying. They're not trying to hear. Your average white person do not want to hear that. They do not want to hear it. And that's the same goes for YouTube, because who runs YouTube? White people. They're not going to want to hear it. So as woke black content creators, we have to be very strategic in how we talk about these subjects. We have to be very strategic in how we talk about it, when we talk about it. I don't do too many of those topics back close together because I spread mine way far apart. Because if you do too many close together, then they'll be looking at your channel like, she is a racist. No, it's just like they don't want to hear it. Once again, they do not want to hear it. The white people that run YouTube and Google do not want to hear a black content creator constantly talking about racism. They don't want to hear it. So, and then the white people that watch your channel, they might get salty and try to flag your stuff. They don't want to hear it. I mean, it's like this. At the end of the day, I love everybody. Because Jesus said that's what we're supposed to do. But you know what? I'm going to keep it 100. I keep it 100 with my people. Y'all know that. I keep it 100 with my people. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to keep it 100 with white folk? Of course. But I try to be very strategic on how and when I talk about those topics. I don't put them too close together. And I talk about a variety of different things on my channel. And most of the time, I'm not trying to think about racism like that. I know that it's an issue. But to be honest, I'm not trying to think about it like that. A lot of times I don't talk about it because I'm not trying to think about it like that. Yeah, it's an issue. It's been an issue for 400 years. But I'm not trying to talk about it like that because I'm not trying to think about it all the time, because it makes you angry, it gets you upset, and I'm not trying to be angry and upset all the time. I'm not trying to walk around angry and upset all the time. So it's one of those things where I just don't like to think about it all the time. Now, I can't speak for other black folks. but I'm just speaking for me. From me, I don't like to think about it all the time. And if I see it, if it's in my face, I'm going to call it out. Okay? I'm going to call it out for what it is. Okay? Whether you like it or not, or whether you want to hear it or not. I'm going to call it out for what it is. If I feel like somebody's being racist, just like that president that we have in office right now, that's a felon, I bet no bones about the fact that the man is a racist. And I don't care how anybody feels about it. The man is a racist. His father was a KKK. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. The man is a racist. And that's just the way I feel about it. And I don't care what nobody... I know some of y'all like to worship the ground the man walks on. But I don't. I see him for exactly who he is. He says key words. He ain't done it yet, but he will get around to it. He says key words to trigger racist. That's what he did the last time he was in office. And that's what caused what happened. Y'all know what happened. Yeah, he'll say key words, trigger words. Because he can't just say it directly. He can't just come out and say it. He has to say code words. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. He has to say code words. And his racist followers know exactly what he's talking about. He has to talk in code. When it comes to race, he has to talk in code. He can't just come out and say it. You know what I mean? He has to talk in code. And if you haven't never noticed that before, your mind ain't right. Something's wrong with you. Get yourself checked out. You've never noticed him doing that before. Your mind, something wrong with your mind. You need to get yourself checked out because he has done it before. Okay? He's done it before. And he will. It's only a matter of time before he will do it again. But some of these people, the fact that they voted this man in speaks volumes. But I don't want to make this video about him. I don't want to make this video about him. But my point that I'm making is that if I see racism or I feel someone is being racist, I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call them out. Whether you like it or not. But to my other black woke content creators, yes, do we need to have these conversations? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when I say we, I'm talking about me too. We have to be very strategic in how and when we talk about these things. That's what I'm saying. Now, I'll talk about it today, and I can't tell you when I'm going to talk about it again. Unless if something comes up. If something comes up that way, then I got to go there. But that's black content creators. That's something that black woke content creators. It's something that we have to be cognizant of, is that we got to remember that YouTube and Google is ran by who? White people. And they reserve the right to shut you down anytime they want. They reserve the right to demonetize you anytime they want. Because it's their company. What us black people need to do is we need to come up with our own video platform is what we need to do. And make it so we can have freedom of speech and say whatever we want to say without taking a chance of being shut down. Or we gotta tip it, or we gotta talk about it. We can't talk about it too much. You know what I mean? We have our own platform. We won't have to be strategic. If we have our own thing, if we start doing our own thing, we won't have to be strategic. We can talk about it every video we want. But here on YouTube, on white folks' turf, on their stuff, you got to be careful. As a woke black content creator, you got to watch your step. You got to watch your step. I just feel like I need to put that out there. Because some of my favorite content creators, that woke black content creators, I really don't want them to get shut down. Because they speaking the truth. And I want them to keep putting that truth out there. But at the same time, I want them to be careful. Because I don't want to see them get shut down. Because Cynthia G, she had to... That's why she started talking about black men, because she had to turn the corner, because when she first came on YouTube, she was talking about white supremacy a lot. And she was talking about it so much to the point to where they were going to shut her down. And that's why she had to turn, she had to flip it, and she had to change it and start talking about black men. But black men got a little too salty because she kept saying that one thing. And she kept saying that one thing that she was saying. I'm not going to repeat it. But she kept saying that one thing she was saying, and then black men got too salty, and they had her shut down. But how long did it take YouTube to do that? We can talk about our own people till the cows come home. They don't care. We can bash each other till the cows come home. They don't care. They could care less. But if you come on here talking mess about them on a regular basis, they gonna have a problem with it. And they will. It's only a matter of when they will shut you down. It ain't a matter of if. It's gonna be a matter of when. They gonna demonetize your stuff. They gonna shut down, because they hard on me. I gotta be real careful on here. They hard on me. I don't know if they do all small content creators that way, but they hard on me. I made some kind of comment in somebody's comment section, and they came to me and said, threatened to shut my channel down. I don't know what it was. I guess somebody reported my comment. They didn't like what I said. YouTube come up, why they come up, they threatened to shut my channel down. See, YouTube is hard on me. They'll shut me down in a minute. They hard on me. And I think they hard on all the black people on here. It ain't just me. They hard on all the black people. The white folks can come on here, and I bet you they got, I don't even look at that content, but I bet you they got all kind of racist white folks on here, and they'll let them ramble on. They'll let them go. They ain't gonna give us. So woke black content creators, just be careful. That's what I just wanted to say. Just be careful. Just be careful, because I really don't want to see y'all go. Okay, just be strategic in how you're talking about your race related topics, and be careful what you say. We have to be mindful of what we're saying and how we're saying it. You know. So that was yeah, I thought I'd put that out there. But hit me up in that comment section, let me know what you think, and hit that like button, push that algorithm straight up to the roof, and hit that share. And make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. I'm under Sweet June 54. Sweet June 54 on TikTok. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. I'm under Sweet June 54. All right. I'll see you guys later. You guys stay warm and be blessed.